Okay, hello everyone. So I'm going to quickly go over a few examples of some websites that I have seen getting disapproved by Google when they're reviewing for MCM. Um, a lot of these things are things I see on a lot of sites and should give you some direction on things to look at yourself. In no way is this a silver bullet to getting you approved. Google keeps this vague, but I will provide as much guidance as I can possibly do. So, kicking off with this site, quickly looking at it, we'll see plenty of articles, lots of personal accounts of trips. Looks like some good content. I have reviewed the content. It looks good. But looking at the menu, what we'll see is the first thing that stands out is under travel tips. This is very, very long and it seems to have every single article as a subcategory under this category. This is bad. It will cover content. It will cover your ads. It is not a good user experience. So my advice would be to keep the travel tips area, but do not add this massive long drop down. Here is fine. 3 items is reasonable. 3 subcategories if you want to do that, but you do not have to. The other thing, if we look at travel guides, there's nothing. If we look at travel diaries, there's nothing. Google looks at all these category pages, needs to see a clear menu on how to navigate. This site has empty pages that lead you to nothing. Please check all of your pages, all of your categories, make sure that they actually have content. Next one, looking at this site, we see a lot of latest articles, lots of pictures with links to the articles. The one thing that stands out to me, you should probably keep this opening up in the same tab instead of a new tab. However, every single article I go to has one sentence under each area. This one actually has pictures, but it's all because they are just trying to send you to Amazon. Do not do that. Add pictures throughout. See, this one has no pictures at all. Just kind of looks like very thin content that was written just for ads. Last thing on this site, the recommended gear section is literally links to Amazon. There's no content. This will get disapproved every single time. This website, multiple categories, quite a few articles, 4 pages. However, when you go to board games, there are 2. Google has consistently seen things like this where there's 2 articles as thin content and will disapprove it. My advice would be to create categories that you have enough articles to at least have 4 or 5. Again, Google does not have a specific number, but my advice would be to have at least 4 to 5. So we have 2 categories, one with 3, one with 2. My advice would probably be work on adding a few more articles before resubmitting this. Otherwise, the navigation looks clear to me. Last one here. So we have quite a few articles, 10 pages worth, looks good here. When we look at toddlers, looks good, plenty of articles. Parenting, 1 article, nothing else. Google will see this, view it as thin, and will disapprove the site. The other thing, I don't see anywhere to click on home. I guess you can click on home, but this is a bit confusing. I'd say this is a bit subjective, but if I were on the site, I personally would think there's no way to get to the home button because the home button is this big title above every single page, which is a bit funky. Last thing I will quickly say, when you go to a category, make sure that the articles in that category are not in multiple other categories. I've seen this multiple times where one article is in 3 categories.